I'm very upset. I'm very upset. Shut up! Shut up!
Turn off the flash, you fucking moron!
The thing that is most exciting for me about Rise of Skywalker is it's the group on an adventure together, and it's full of crazy action and comedy and surprises, and I think it's pretty moving too. It's hopefully it's good for everyone.
Somehow I doubt that worked, guys.
There's not a lot I liked in this movie, to be honest with you. I know.
It's really fucking bad. This is a super stinky shitter. This is Game of Thrones Season 8 for Star Wars.
I went in with low expectations, and I still came out disappointed.
Hey, well, it's not for you. F*** you. Star Wars is for me. It's for everybody. Don't you tell me it's not for me.
I think they might be right, Corey. It's not for you.
I'm about to let them have it.
Okay.
That's good.
That's cool. That feels appropriate. Sure, yeah.
Star Wars Episode 9 is a 4-hour movie they crushed into 2.5 hours because it feels like this movie probably should have been a lot longer.
Which is sad considering this is supposed to be the conclusion to a story so many fucking years in the making. It's just not a good movie, though.
Way too much material into one last movie.
Yeah.
So, of course, what we get is this film that's an unmitigated train wreck of a film that simultaneously tries to undo The Last Jedi, explain the Emperor's return, and introduce new characters, and give actual character development between our main characters that really haven't spent a lot of time together and that are actually together for once, and try to resolve the whole freaking thing in a single film. And guess what? It fails at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Sith troopers, they are worse. What was the point in them being Sith? So they can be fucking red? What is this? What is fucking red?
Their plans are going awry and things get changed up, but luckily the good guys are able to see through that plan because one of the good guys says, wait a minute, I have a feeling. And that feeling turns out to be incredibly accurate and saves the day. Based off of nothing. I don't know why the character got the feeling. It's not even like it was a force-sensitive character who's getting like a fucking force tingle in his penis. Just the character says, hey, I got a feeling.
I'm talking fucking how.
They fly now? They fly now?
Speaking of The Last Jedi, they only acknowledge it through gritted teeth, or even petty jabs in the least subtle pandering ways that made me roll my eyes countless times, as if the state of the trilogy is purely the fault of Johnson, and that there isn't shared blame from an almost unanimously agreed lack of direction behind the scenes.
Straight from that title crawl, there's like these 3 paragraphs, and they're so poorly written and awkward, and they just shove the Emperor in your face like he was there the whole time. The explanation for him is so poor that it's like, this is definitely course correction.
At last the work of generations is complete. The great error is corrected. The day of victory is at hand. The day of revenge. The day of the Sith.
At this point, some of these characters, we should have been talking about them. These characters they're introducing now, they're like people who came to the party way too late.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad to meet you, man. We kicking people out now.
I'm talking fucking how. You're like, Snoke's dead. Shit. All right, let's bring in Palpatine. Which I know they or J.J. Abrams have said, no, that was the plan from the beginning to bring Palpatine in. Bullshit.
Palpatine was never meant to come back in this new trilogy. That was never the plan. At no point in this movie did it ever get justified how he's here, how he survived, what he's doing. At no point did I think, oh, okay, this makes sense. This is what they were building towards, because it's clearly not. He comes in out of fucking nowhere. It would have made more sense if it was Jar Jar Binks they brought in here to be the big bad villain.
Which is clawing and manipulative and wasn't set up at all and really makes no sense. It's relying on an already established character we're all invested in to add some dramatic purpose to this retconned and retroactively told story. I have no problem with the idea of bringing this character back in some form, that's not the issue, but if this was always the plan, why would you not explain any of it or tease it in some form from the beginning in a more satisfying way?
I thought it was bullshit before I saw the movie. Now that I've seen the movie, there's no way you're going to convince me otherwise.
And you remember Snoke? You know, the big bad villain they set up in episode 7 who was killed off immediately in episode 8 with no explanation about who or what he was? He's given a single line in this movie to explain who and what he was. One line that is about 8 or 9 words. That's what they gave their initial big bad villain.
My boy. I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head.
You're just gonna answer that just like that?
The Emperor makes no sense. The Emperor's plan makes no sense. The Emperor doesn't even look right. They screw that up. How are you doing this? No, why are you doing this?
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Where did all this come from? Who made these? Why are they all the same power level as the Death Star? How many times can you make the same movie?
long time ago, I said this man's gonna be the next Spielberg because the man is, as far as I'm concerned, he understands that era more than anybody else and knows how to bring it into the new age. I know he's gonna copy and paste the shit.
How do you know how to disable the shields?
I don't. I'm just here to get Ray.
People are counting on us. The galaxy is counting on us.
Solo, we'll figure it out. We'll use the Force.
That's not how the Force works. 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 That's not how the Force works.
The worst thing about prison was the Dementors. They were flying all over the place, and they were scary, and then they'd come down and they'd suck the soul out of your body, and it hurt!
Dementors like in Harry Potter?
No, not Harry Potter.
That's not how the Force works.
I really liked it when the Emperor used hyper lightning hands and sent out a shockwave that rippled miles in the sky. That wasn't stupid at
I
all.
love a good God mode code myself, but once in a while, don't make it the movie. Ray is so OP in this movie.
The strange point is when suddenly Rey has the ability to bring people back from the dead. I don't remember that ever being established before.
I'm talking fucking happy.
So goddamn tired and frustrated. I'm tired, Martin.
And I am pissed.
I don't know what the that was.
At least Kylo Ren's arc is completed and he remained the primary aspect of interest to me. Although it's a shame all he really boils down to is another Darth Vader-like redemption. If I have to get a stream of constant Star Wars movies, can you at least take some time to plot them out in a way that has some kind of consistency?
To stupidly go into a new trilogy without an actual plan? Are you kidding me? Without a complete, overarching story that they wanted to achieve? Who the fuck does that?
How did we get here? What happened? Like, what happened to Star Wars? What happened? Where are we? What weird alternate dimension am I in?
And you're constantly trying to remember why they were there in the first place. Oh, they're going there for that, but that didn't work. But then they found out about this, so they're going there for this. Wait, no. They just learned from some dude in the background shouting that they need to go here. So they're gonna. Oh, that's why they're going there, right? Because that dude was shouting. It's a mess.